Hey Nashville, it's Amore with Renaissance Certified, and
Hey, I'm Jack Vinoy.
he could have gave himself a better introduction.
What?
Okay, Mr. Jack Vinoy of Camp 3, which is where we are right now at his studio. So tell us a little about Camp 3.
Yeah, Camp 3 started as something at my house. I had about 50 people over at my house in a weekend, just people that I worked with from the scene here. And it was such a fun time, but it just got to be too many people in my house. I would have to wait till, my roommates were out of town and that sort of thing. So we had space to do it.
I got you.
And it was just really loud. So anyway, eventually it's kind of evolved into renting a studio. And, I think the most we've ever had out was 80 or so people. But it's just a big, networking and collaborative thing. And everybody's just always so friendly and excited to work on new stuff. So it's just a lot of fun.
Okay, perfect. And it looked like it has grown so much since the first session.
So yeah, it's grown a lot since I started this in February of 2022. It was just my house. We set up my little home studio and then cleared out one of the extra, one of the bedrooms in the studio or the house and set up speakers and interfaces. And, we had a mattress tipped up on its side to get it out of the way. And, we were making ramen.
That's dedication though.
Hanging out in the kitchen, making beats. But it was a lot of fun. But it's evolved to now have 9 sponsors, and we're kind of getting partnered with different, Nashville-based social community causes, like Voices for a Safer Tennessee and the Nashville Food Project. So it's really cool because it gets to be the music community, but also the city of Nashville that we're participating in.
Multiple communities in Nashville. That's very beneficial. Well, Ralph, let me get ready with the first question. Okay, so our first question for you, Jack. What was your inspiration behind creating Camp 3?
The inspiration behind Camp was kind of born out of, I had been in Nashville 4 or 5 years and felt like I just hadn't met my circle of people, that I was supposed to work with.
We can all relate to that.
Yeah, I just felt like I hadn't found my people yet. And I got added to this session of about 15 or 20 people. This is probably early 2021.
Okay.
It was over at this place called Gnome Studios, and I met basically for the next 2 years, that was all these people that I didn't know one day, and the next day I was oh, we're gonna be best friends. We're gonna work on stuff for a while. And so through that I met a number of my favorite collaborators, and I kind of saw a need for spaces for groups to gather and collaborate and meet, and have it be a common ground where everybody's kind of starting fresh together. And
there's no really criteria to it. Everybody just here to make music and a passion for it.
Yeah, exactly. And so everybody that shows up to camp has always been really great about just being friendly and collaborative with everybody. And one of the coolest things is there's really no ego involved.
Yeah, I know.
People just come in and they're oh, you have an idea? Yeah, we should do that idea. We should try it and see how it goes. And so it becomes this big collaborative thing. And I think through that it builds a lot of people's confidence as artists and producers and writers, all the roles in the recording process. So it's really cool just to be a part of that.
Okay, and we're a part of it tonight, you guys.
Yep.
We're so excited.
Thank you guys for being here.
Of course. Let me get to that second question. Okay, so the second question is, how do you feel like it has evolved since the first Camp 3?
I think the biggest change in the evolution of the camp has just been the sort of community that it's developed. It started out as just me inviting people that I knew, through the scene and through shows and stuff around town. And it's now starting to spread, beyond what I could have imagined in terms of reach.
Did it kind of challenge the idea? When more people started to come into it, or what your original
No, I think that it made me double down because I realized how much community was important to people. So much so that they would travel from out of state to be here.
Did it actually shock you when you started to notice more people showing more interest?
Yeah, absolutely. Because honestly, I talked to my family about it a lot when I was doing it, and my dad was oh, that's probably you probably can't do those forever, can I? And I kind of thought I couldn't, but the thing is, more people keep showing up, and each time there's new faces, and it's fantastic because I get to meet a whole bunch of new people who are super motivated to make music and just passionate about what they're doing. And it's been really cool too because it's it's expanding beyond Nashville. Today there's somebody here that flew in from Seattle to be here. There's somebody from I think Pennsylvania that flew down, and we've had people travel from, I think last time there was somebody from Canada that came down. So so it's been crazy that people
it's really growing.
Yeah, people are friends are telling their friends and they're telling their friends, and then it's becoming this thing of oh, I gotta be there. No matter what, I gotta be there.
Before you know it, it'll be countrywide. There'll be a lot more people coming from different countries to come and support.
Oh, we'll need a huge studio for that.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
That'll definitely be next, y'all. That's a goal, though, for next, y'all.
Yeah, it'd be really cool.
Okay, and our last question for the night. What was the process of creating Camp 3?
Yeah, so that's kind of, it kind of goes hand in hand with the evolution of it. At first it was just like, hey, I'm gonna wait till my roommates and my girlfriend go out of town so we can be loud as hell in our house, because I try to be not a nuisance in my home.
Of course.
Don't want to be too loud, don't have the speakers cranking, don't have 50 people over. So I waited. So that was like the biggest planning thing at the start. And now it's like coordinating with sponsors and with, guest speakers and stuff. So that's been like a really welcome change though.
Yeah.
So usually I start planning the camps like 4 to 5 months out when they happen. And yeah, but it's honestly, it's something I always really enjoy, and it just like fills my cup to like be part of this community, and to be just a small part of like hopefully bringing people together to like form lasting relationships like that go beyond music. So yeah, I like being a person that introduces you to your new friend kind of thing.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit off script.
Okay.
So what would you say is the most valuable lesson you just learned along this journey so far of just having all these collaborators here, meeting all these new different people, and creating that type of community?
Yeah, honestly, just like checking the ego at the door. There's actually a sign in the studio. I didn't put it up, it's just on the studio door here, but I keep seeing it and I'm like, you know what, that's such a huge thing for a lot of people. Because
is that what the sign says?
The sign just says check your ego at the door. And as I thought more about it, I'm like, that's honestly what's keeping a lot of this, fun and enjoyable for so many people, because you come in, it's like you could, nobody's looking at your Spotify plays or like your Instagram followers or anything. When you walk into a studio room, it's like, what do you do? Cool, let's get that in the song. Let's get that in the track. And so it's very like
personable.
Yeah, and so it's really cool too, because we'll have a range of like people who have, like, there's some people in the building that have toured, nationally in the building, to like people that have never recorded in a studio before today. And so it's really awesome because it brings everybody to like a level playing field and gives everyone an opportunity to shine.
Yes, it sounds like it's going to open so many opportunities for so many dope artists that came out tonight. So once again, you guys, this is Amore with Renaissance Certified, and
I'm Jack Vinoy. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching, but also you want to follow him, and we want people to know where we can find him and to hear more about Camp 3. So drop your socials real quick.
Yeah, I'm Jack Vinoy, spelled pretty much like it sounds, on Instagram, Twitter, not Twitter, because it's not called Twitter anymore.
It's not.
Anyway.
Right.
Yeah. And then Camp 3, one day I'll buy out whoever has like the spell out the way I do it, but right now it's ca.mpthree, and 3 is spelled out.
Okay, perfect. Bye, y'all.